Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? You remember that?
I do. Ladies and gentlemen, Val the Voice Johnson. And then you walk through and everybody shakes your hand and they congratulate you. I'm the designated survivor though. So
All right, it's another edition of Talk on Tuesdays. Let's go. Oh, wow. Hey there. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
Michael, why do we have on a mask?
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna become nostalgic pretty soon. Um, just like most of the country in this area too, these masks are now becoming optional, and I feel like I'm gonna miss them. I don't know, like maybe I can make like I don't know, some kind of piece of art with it, a quilt, or maybe a nice collage or something. But soon they will be pretty much obsolete, and then we'll all be sick. Oh, so
Oh my gosh. So, welcome to another edition of Talk on Tuesdays with me, Val the Voice. We want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by YourGalShall.com. Learn more about Your Gal Shall, and she's building the next generation of wealth one day, $1 at a time by visiting YourGalShall.com. You know, we got to pay our bills first. We got to
she
do
looks
that
like she's about
first.
to order a pecan salad. Like what would you like? I'd like a pecan salad and maybe like a iced tea unsweetened. That's what she looks like right there.
I
It's a
know.
beautiful picture. I love it.
She and the book that she wrote, Money is Good, Kelsey 100, that is based on her niece. She was our guest
And the
last
beautiful
week on the
braids.
audio. Yes, she was our guest last week on the audio episode. So I'm excited about
I
that.
miss that. I miss
And
getting
let's
my hair
see,
braided.
and let's see who's in the chat. Hey Becca,
Hey,
Becca,
Becca,
how
Becca,
you
Becca.
doing? And of course, we're so excited. Kevin is joining us. Thank you.
Yeah,
We've
Kevin.
already started. We'll show this one.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So our anywho, I know right now, what we got going on for real? We're up against the president of the United States, right?
Yeah, but no worries. He's not gonna send any of us into the conflict. I mean, so, show your support as you see. I got the blue and the gold going a little bit here, along with the red, black, and green. So show your support as you can and as you feel is appropriate to your situation. But I wouldn't worry about ever having to go over there to deal with that. And
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that because there have been lots of coups within the last several months. This is the major one that we attempted coup, at least that we are hearing about. But there have been many across the continent of Africa, but we never
Hmm.
really hear about those. But countries go up and down, up and down, up and down. It just happens to be a really big one next to an idiot. So,
Yeah. And
yep.
I am hoping for and praying for a resolution. But as we as I think about your red, black, and green
Mm-hmm.
flag, we just left Black History Month, which was back in February.
Yep.
And now it is time for, whether we want to believe it or not, March is Women's History Month.
It is. It
Uh-huh.
is.
Yeah. So that's always exciting to
Yes.
all the women that make history, and I'm excited to get it. We'll be chit chatting this entire month of March
Mhm.
about women that have made history, and some that are currently making history. And
Actually. And you
speaking
know
of
what I
that,
love about it, Val the Voice Johnson, is this.
hmm hmm
For February, I pick up and put around the area in which I work because I'm trying to, show solidarity with Black History Month. I show these wonderful images of, extraordinary African Americans and people of color that happen to be women in
hmm
February. And then in March, I just leave the same pictures up, because it's Women's History Month, right? Bought a 2-4. It's a cheat code. Use it, people. Think about it. Celebrate Black women in February and March. You can do it. It's
we can do
okay.
it. It can be done. But speaking of, some history was made over the weekend with the SAG Awards. I don't know if anybody saw that. That's a Screen Actor Guild Awards. And
That's the ugly
Andrea,
heavy ones. They're the ugly heavy awards. They look like they're made out of, I don't know, like cement or turquoise cement.
yeah,
Something that you find at Home Depot.
yeah. So I wanted to make sure. Oh, what? Where did it go that quick? Okay, yes. So our Best Actress award went to, and I want to make sure I say her name right, Adriana DeBose.
Did, was she best actress?
That's what I have heard. That's what she won for.
Not best supporting actress? She
I
won for
can
best supporting actress.
She won for
There we
best
go.
supporting actress. Okay, there we go. So she
There we
won for
go.
she won for best supporting actress. But what I'm finding out is that she becomes the first woman of Latina what is that, Latina heritage, and also the first queer woman of color to be recognized by the Screen Actors Guild. I didn't know that. Now, what
Uh,
what do you think?
that don't sound right. I think there's a lot of, and it's not on you, Val, but I think
Mhm.
there's a lot of reporting that kind of, I wouldn't say it's sloppy, but it is. It kind of just like gives people things. We're always looking for like a first, and this is new, and never had this before, and we sort
Mhm.
of start splitting hairs. I think we need to kind of save some of that for the
Okay.
really important stuff,
Okay.
because then you get into definition sometimes, and then it becomes a little bit murky. And when it's really clear, there, I think she might be the first Latina queer actor to win a SAG. That sounds more likely, even though
Okay.
that's kind of ridiculous in 2022. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yes, Rita Moreno won, of course. So she
Mhm.
won for the same role that this actor won for. Yes, yes, Mr. Lee, you got it.
Yeah.
For the
Mr. Lee
same
got
role,
it.
which,
Mhm.
when you think about it, means that, is this the one award? Is this the only role that a Latina actor can win an award in? This
W
particular role in West
well
Side Story? Is that why we
well, I
brought
will
that
I
ancient, dated piece of theater?
okay, well, I will say this, DeBo's co-star, and we mentioned Rita Moreno. She
Yes, the
was the
great.
one
She of EGOT fame.
she was the first Latina to win a Best Actor award, Actress award in 1961 for the original version of West Side.
Supporting actress.
Supporting actress. So,
Ain't the
and
same as best actress.
not Best Actress, supporting
Very
Best
different.
Actress.
Very
Very
different.
different. Well, then here's my question,
Hmm.
Michael. Has
Yeah,
any Latina or Latinx won for Best Actress?
that's a very good question.
Oh my
That I don't
gosh.
think that is was addressed in any of that, in those articles. There's certainly people who have been nominated. If you do a quick check, lots of names will come up for nomination, but then you come
Mhm.
into who has actually won. And then when you think about Women's History Month in film, you think about, well, how many women have won Best Director, right? There's so many
Mhm.
women directing, people that you certainly follow and know, and they are awesome folks. How many have won the Oscar for Best Director? How many women have won?
Oh, well, the women, I do know Catherine Bigelow won for The Hurt Locker.
And stop.
Woman,
Yeah.
woman. And that's all I'm going to say is woman. I'm not going to refer to race because
Right.
it's only been, yeah,
Okay.
woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think your list is done, isn't it? So I
Oh, I'm
mean,
sorry. And as of last
Earth.
year, no, wait. As
Oh,
of
two,
last
two.
year, as of last year, we
Yes,
had a woman who
exactly.
won
For No Man Land. So now
for
there are
No Man
two.
Land. So there are
There are
two
two.
women.
Then there were two.
Then there were two.
And
Now I.
this year, in advance, I can predict
Mhm.
this. You could write it down, mark it, dude. You can mark it that there will be
Hmm.
the director
Okay.
of Power of the Dog. She will win Best Director this year. People aren't really talking about that because, of course, the SAG was about actors.
All
That was
actors.
the
Yeah.
acting award, so there was no directing category.
Hmm.
But she will win. She is and will be named Best Actor at the Oscars. You can book it, as we like to say, and we'll say later on in the show, for entertainment purposes only. But I'm telling you that that's going to happen because it's going to happen. So there you go.
Michael, I wanted to inform you, Mr. Lee is letting us know we are officially over on Roku.
Hi Roku.
What's up?
Hello. What's up, Roku?
I'm totally shocked. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. March is
Yes.
Women's History Month. So there'll
Yeah,
be some history being made. There was some history made over the weekend too, before the SAGs, right?
yes, very much so.
By the dude that's trying to steal our spotlight tonight. Doesn't he know Tuesdays is our night? Could he move it to like a Wednesday or a Monday or something? Anyway,
No, why do you have to do the State of the Union address on our night? We've held this
exactly.
down for almost a year, Michael. Come
Joey,
on.
Joey, come on. So anyway, he's probably asleep. Anyway, so waking up, he woke up on Friday and said some really important things that he had promised. He fulfilled a promise in his campaign and nominated Ketanji Brown Jackson to become, hopefully, if confirmed, the first Black woman to serve on the United States Supreme Court. And that was a really big deal. Very
Huge,
big deal.
huge.
Made history, right? As,
Hmm.
as, as Joey once said when he served under President Obama, that's a BFG.
What's a BFD?
Y'all can Google that later.
I'm
Uh,
not gonna. Yeah, I'm not, I don't know if I want to know what that. I don't know if I want to know
it's
what
a
that
big
means.
deal.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
It's
It's
a
wait a
big
minute.
deal.
And Roxanne agrees with you. She says big deal. Oh, well, you know what? Before I jump to, I was very interested in the awards that recognize us, and that would honestly be the NAACP
The
Awards.
Black
Did you
People Love
watch?
Awards. The Black People Love Awards. I watched the Black People Awards produced by Anthony Anderson and giving all love to Anthony Anderson and his mama
Oh, she
and
was
some
funny.
random people.
Yeah, she was
Hey, did you
funny.
love the studio audience?
There was
Wait,
no
what?
studio audience. There was no studio audience, but I
Wait,
think
all
that he
those
did.
people. No.
I was happy to see the chairman's award went to Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. So I screen grabbed everything. I literally screen grabbed everything. And then
Good job. It looks really clean.
it looks
Sterling
really
K.
clean,
Brown
doesn't it?
won his category, right? And he was
Hmm.
very excited
For,
about it, and he should have been.
yeah. And
Um,
I was very
I
remarked
was
by
surprised too.
outstanding comedy actress. Now, um, there was five people competing. Five people competing. Why are you laughing, Michael? There was five people
Oh,
competing.
you got one job. Show up. I mean, is LA traffic that bad?
It
Seriously?
is. It
It
is.
is?
It
Okay.
is.
All
It
right. If
is
it
that
is,
bad. Yeah,
couldn't she
it
have got
really
an
is.
escort or something? Couldn't she have called Dre up? Like, Dre owns the city, apparently, right? Couldn't he have, like, switched the lights up, green lights all the way for Issa? Issa's got to get in here on time to pick up her award. I thought
Yeah.
she just wasn't around, period. And then she pops in later on. I'm like, whoa, what? Where were
And
you?
and she put in her bid. It was very funny that she put in her bid for to host. And I was thinking, well, the number one thing
Oh,
about being a host is you got to be on time. Got to be
I
on time.
know, right? That seems
You
like
got to be on
a
time.
prereq, right? A prerequisite, right? I would think like show up on time. What else? Don't go to the bathroom when you're supposed to, like, read off the nominees.
I know.
I was off for her hashtag though. Hashtag, let Issa host or whatever it was. I was for that because
Yeah,
I do want. Between the two of them, I'd rather have Issa there.
okay. Well, that's fine. Well, the best actor, ironically, Will won at both. He won with the Black People Awards, and then he also won
I don't
with
think
the
it's that
SAG.
good.
But we'll get to that
Yeah,
in a
just
moment.
because, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then here with our best actresses, Jennifer Hudson
Tyson
was on the
Daya,
side, and she looked like she was a little shocked. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is up with that?
she should have been. There's no reason she should have won.
Why? Who do you think should have won?"
Not her.
Okay, who do you think should have won?
I don't know who else is there. It's somebody else.
Oh, okay. And then,
When she becomes an actress, let me know.
oh wow. And who is this? You talking about Jennifer Hudson?
Yeah, Jennifer Hudson. Yeah.
Okay. Well, your girl was recognized, Nicole Hannah Jones, for the Social Impact Award
1619.
and 1619. And Bruce is saying he can't wait for Samuel L. Jackson to see him as Charles Barkley, Spike Lee. Oh, and the the Capital One commercials for March
Yeah, they
Madness.
coming. Oh, they
They're
already started,
coming.
my friend. In
They've
the
already
words of
started.
Jim Nance.
Yeah.
Hello, friends. Yeah, they have started already. For sure. I've
Yes.
been watching the basketball, the college basketball, which has been going on. It doesn't just start with the dance. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, right?
Of course.
Oh, that
Yeah, of
was a
course.
great moment. If you could go back to Tracy Ellis.
Oh yeah, I found that so funny that that she well let me bring her up again. It was so funny because I the her TV husband was hosting.
Hmm.
And what did you want to say about Tracy's laugh? What was
Well,
that about?
her TV husband tried to put the fix in and get her an award, even though there was another name on there. Her TV husband tried to slip her the award. I thought that was great, especially
Yeah.
since I don't know if you follow some of the things that may or may not be true or nonsense in social media. But there was a story out now that Blackish is wrapping up about
Hmm.
how the first couple of years Tracy did not like Anthony. They were not cool. They were really acting on that set for a while. That chemistry was a matter of performance. Did you see that story at all, Val?
I did see that story, and I'm sitting here going, did anybody understand what was going on? You know how hard it
I
is.
actually did go into the story. I read it. I clickbaited and actually read it.
And what was it? And what was it saying? What was it saying?
Apparently, Anthony Anderson, he thinks he's a comedian. He thinks he's funny.
Okay.
So he made a joke on the set early on that had to do with flatulence. And Tracy Ellis Ross, and she did not take it very well. She took it as an insult, a
Hmm.
slight, kind of saw him as sort of really not, worthy of being there or around her, and simply did her job. She played his wife, and she played his wife on TV. And when they roll cut, she went her separate way. And it took years for that relationship to kind of thaw out and get repaired. And this is after they had been hosting, award shows together. Remember they were hosting
They
for a while. They
were.
were together. Well, apparently he
Yeah.
told that sort of distasteful joke, at least in her mind after that, and then she was like, "No, thank you," to being in near or around him.
Well, I'm glad
But
that
they're
they
cool
work.
now.
But I'm glad that they worked it out, and it didn't end in
Absolutely.
the way with Martin and
Well, they're back, right?
Fisher. They're back. Thank
They're back
goodness they're back.
together.
But remember the last season of Martin.
Oh, I
Remember the
remember.
very last season of
Yeah,
Martin,
yeah. She was anywhere but on the set with him.
and when she would come on the set and act,
Damn, Gina, where are you?
he was not on the set. So I'm very glad that they resolved whatever they resolved, because this is the final season, because they were able to attract the former first lady Michelle Obama to the
Yeah,
Blackest set. So if they didn't have good, you know
yeah. No, they do, but but
glad.
see what I'm saying is, and maybe more of a credit to both of them. Now when we look back, you just would assume that these two people had this really strong relationship, right? But then to come back and find out, like, no,
Yeah.
no, that was all theater. It's like, really, that was acting. That's pretty good acting. Okay, maybe now I look back at some of those awards they won. Maybe they really did deserve it, because I thought they were just kind of naturally playing off of each other.
I know.
It's
I didn't
surprising to
know all of
hear
that was
those
happening
things.
in the background. I had no clue. And yeah, people are looking forward to that reunion with Martin. Good gracious, I'm
Did
looking
you did
forward to
you did
that.
you did you enjoy Martin, Val?
At times I didn't. At times I know the first two seasons I was all in, but
Okay,
somewhere around the third or fourth, I felt like a lot of the jokes and things were done to death, and it was a lot of buffoonery. But that's what I
yes,
hated. We
yes,
were all fans of Shanae, but then again, some of us weren't. But that's a throwback to how many other black actors have cross dressed and
yeah.
made a
We'll leave
living.
that alone tonight. All right, okay.
We're gonna leave that alone,
Leave that
but
one alone. But
we're
okay,
gonna leave
but
that.
but still, just the show, Martin. Were you like you
The
were
show, the
a
show, Martin. I think after when they fictitiously got married, both Gina and Martin, for some reason I lost interest in the show. And then when I found out that there were issues and she wasn't appearing on the show, and I think they were hyping up Pam, and I do remember that they were trying to give Tashina Arnold a spinoff, and that didn't quite catch. So she had to kind of carry the weight of the missing Gina as the best friend, and more cracks
Mhm.
and jokes were about BDB cracking on Pam, but yeah. But
Yeah,
like
and
I
that began to kind of like, I kind of, what I felt, and I think in retrospect now, and maybe it was
Mhm.
different then, and I'm sure people, I have no problem. I understand why people enjoy Martin. Martin Lawrence has, I mean, he is funny. I wouldn't want to see him in everything, but I do
Mhm.
recognize that he is a funny comedian. However, after a while, if you lose Gina and you
Mhm.
only have like Pam and jokes to crack on Pam and play the dozens off of Pam, that starts to wear down, You start to think like, why is he so fixated on her? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Mhm. Mhm.
then it becomes like, the same. I start to feel that way like with Chappelle's show. And Dave figured it out really quickly into his third season. Like, I don't know who's laughing anymore. This might, I think I had a good run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna move on to something else. And I mean, Martin moved on to movies, very successful there. Started doing other things, other projects, and finding success there. I think the show at some point began to kind of run its course. There was only so much
Yeah.
you could get out of that. Now, a reunion, it depends on how they approach it. That might be hilarious. I mean, that might be
And we got
all
people
really
that are
that.
looking. They've got people that are looking forward to it. Bruce over on Facebook is saying that he's looking forward to that reunion.
Oh,
And speaking
definitely.
and speaking of former sitcom stars, like I
Oh,
said,
okay.
our big winner at SAG was King Richard,
Yeah,
and Will Smith ended up taking for Best Actor, and I was thinking, you won over Denzel, but he, it was
it's
no
his
big deal.
year.
I
It's
see
his
it's his
year.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's going to be stopped. And I don't think it really matters whether or not he gave quote unquote the best performance of the five people nominated. This is
Mhm.
Will Smith's year. And it's a year that we
Okay.
want to hear about Richard Williams and what he was able to do with his daughters and the great success they had. I mean, after the last 2 years, I think we want to hear that story. We want to celebrate that family. We want to applaud that level of Black excellence in athletics and also in marketing, as entrepreneurs, as business women, with a father who said, I'm going to set it up for my daughters. I want you to be strong Black women and take over. I think people want to tell that story. So he's going to win. He's going to get the microphone. He's going to be able to tell that story.
Yeah, and speaking of sports, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and transition our
Segue.
I
Ooh, segue. Black excellence, sports. I got two words come to mind when I think of Black excellence in sports, and that's one of our favorite reoccurring guests on the show. Ain't that right, Val?
Yeah, it's time for Coach Tony. What's up,
There we
buddy?
go. That's
I
right.
feel, I feel like a road warrior tonight. I've been everywhere to get back to you two guys.
Hey! Black excellence in sports. That was your lead in. I mean,
And I heard you talk about Martin. That's my boy. That's my boy.
okay.
And just to put the tip of the iceberg on, Mike, you got to remember, so, we're dating back, especially with the guests that's coming on tonight with us. We're talking about 30 years. So this was what made us. This is, that
Mhm.
sitcom. I'm still a huge Martin fan. And it kind of got me a little upset to find out all these years that,
Yeah.
Gina's husband was behind a lot of stuff that kind of broke that situation apart, so to speak,
Oh
sort of, so they
yeah.
say. And,
Oh
it
yeah.
was very difficult. But, you know, he lived off a great example of what Eddie Murphy did with multiple characters, but he
Yeah.
brought it to a 30-minute sitcom. And it was just what we had in terms of Black sitcom at the time. It was off the hook.
Bruh man.
Yeah.
Bruh man. Yeah. So many different characters.
And,
So I mean,
and
who
my
knew a window was a door?
funniest episode has got to be when he didn't pay the rent for $5 and Hustle Man showed up at the door with some pigeons on the stick. Hey, hey, you know my motto,
Wow.
man.
Well, we were, and of course I love the Forever Shanae with him singing the Jodeci song. I
Oh,
every time I see that I crack all the way.
and,
Forever
and you
Shanae.
can't
I'm like,
you,
woo.
you can't forget the Pimp of the Year show either. Come on now.
Those were too funny. Well, we the one thing that have attracted all of us together is because we all graduated from the same college, North Central, and Coach
Mhm.
Tony has a special guest for tonight. Who do we have?
Man, let me tell you something. I want to bring on my boy tonight. Dear friends, speaking of dating, years go back. This year of 22, we are 36 years in the chamber. Oh, Mike, as you say, old Wu-Tang, 36 in the chamber.
Dang. Yes.
None other than my main man, Rob Frosty Brown.
Hey,
Right.
Rob.
What up? What
Hey.
up? What
How
up?
you doing?
I am great. How you guys doing?
I'm
Oh,
doing
hey,
great.
what's up?
Tone,
Hey,
Tone,
Val,
Tone. I
I
heard
forgot.
you talking about. I heard you talking about the Martin shows, man. I can't get enough of Martin. And
Yeah,
if they bring a reunion back, I'm all in.
All right.
I'm all in.
can't
All
even get
right.
a devil mark. Hey, Val, I forgot to tell you and Mike, when Rob came on, y'all supposed to have made it snow. That way Frosty would have had a great intro.
Here you go, Tony. Here you go,
Yeah,
Coach.
yeah, yeah. No, it's good to
Hey,
be on.
man, I want to thank you for your time. And, what the audience don't know, this is my classmate, my homeboy, straight from the south side of Chicago, like me, tip I had bulls related, you know. and we back in the clutches on the south side. And Val and Mike, maybe you guys, I'm gonna throw a little history at you. Rob and I was part of the largest minority class to hit the campus the year we came in, thanks to none other than Walter Johnson, who came into the south side of the city, north side of the city, downstate Illinois, and got a conglomerate of young African Americans, that of Tracy, who's Mrs. Pastor, doing her thing in the city, and a slew of other ones. And we completely transformed the western suburbs, and it was awesome. And my classmate here, none other, freshman of the year, we're teammates on 3 back-to-back CCIW championships, NCAA appearances. So, that's how a lot of that stuff at Myrna Fieldhouse got filled because of what we did. But that man right there, that's the ghost. Y'all want power? Power. That's a ghost right there.
Okay,
Rob.
another one of my favorite shows. So I'm
Right,
sorry. Go ahead.
right,
Yeah.
right. So Rob, man, if you want, man, tell them a little bit, man, just what you've been able to accomplish over the years since you left. Some things that you've been able to do, what North Central meant to you, and and just some things that's been going on in the family recently.
Yeah. So definitely thanks for having me on. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, I went to CVS High School.
Woo.
Really, did you go to CVS, Val?
I graduated in '89.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we.
Hey, that's what it be. I gotta get more Morgan Park people on this show.
Yeah, no, you good. The V is representing tonight. So, growing up on the south side, I had never heard of Naperville. Like, I didn't even know that was in Illinois. And how it panned out was my high school coach knew Coach Ward, who was at North Central at the time. And he had made the introduction. Coach Ward picked me up one day after school. I stayed overnight, played some pickup ball with the team, and that night, and like the next day, just went home. Like it was so different from the experience that I've had with my son and recruiting and what a lot of players go through. But long story short, ended up at North Central, as Tony mentioned, thanks to Walter Johnson and really Coach Warden too. They both kind of went into the inner city. They saw that there were kids in the inner city that could handle things from an educational standpoint, but just weren't being given a chance. So Walter made sure that he brought us to the campus and, gave us that chance to compete academically as well as athletically at an accredited college like North Central College. So thankful for the 4 years that I was there. We had some great teams. We still left a championship on the table our senior year by being too cocky and all that. But, lifelong friends were made at North Central. My wife, I met her at North Central. So we were college sweethearts. And, from there, it really just kind of set the stage for me professionally. So when I was in school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to try to be in management. So I majored in business management. But I tell everybody to this day, basketball is what gave me the foundation to be a leader in the business world. I told my kids I wanted them to play organized sports, not to try to make it pro. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they want to get paid for playing the game, I'm not mad at it.
Right.
I'll take that check. But it was really about the transferable skills that you learn from playing organized sports that I wanted them to accomplish and achieve as they were growing up. So I had 2 kids. Me and my wife had 2 kids. My daughter, Kendall, is a senior at Oklahoma University School of Nursing. So baby girl will be graduating in May. And while she could have been a very good volleyball player, she will now kind of go into the world as the best nurse in the world. So I'll take that. And then my son is a freshman at Marquette University. He's a walk-on at Marquette.
Yeah.
A lot of doors opened up for us. God really made a way because that really came out of nowhere for us to have that opportunity. But he's been blessed to be playing basketball at a high D1 level under the tutelage of a coach like Shaka Smart, who is not only a great teacher from a basketball perspective, but a great mentor for a young man like my son. So I am really just excited about all of the things that we have, going on as a family. I love my two kids to death. I do anything for them, and really, it's just trying to kind of lay out the future for them so that they can continue to be successful in their postgraduate life.
Great.
And Val, Rob has actually been a little modest too. He left one thing out that I want to point that out. You're actually looking at the gentleman who, after he left North Central, got an opportunity to go to Southwest Airlines, and he and another young lady started a minority diversity program that he saw that wasn't available in the early 90s at Southwest Airlines, and was able to grow that diversity program into what it is today that Southwest has as one of the leadership airline programs in businesses worldwide.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'd rather
that's
I'd rather
amazing.
talk about my kids than me though.
Now, let's talk about since they're not here. Let's talk about you as a parent. One of my favorite commercials, and I've been watching a lot of college basketball on TV the last couple of weeks. A lot, probably too much. One of my favorite commercials is the NCAA commercial where it shows what people did, what teams they were part of, what sports they were part of, and at the end, toward the end, it shows them in their current career, and it says, I think the tag is that not all NCAA athletes go pro, but not necessarily in their sport.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
talks about being professional in whatever it is that you're going to do.
yep.
So your son has an opportunity right now to go pro. I mean, I remember when they were talking about that kid Ao at Morgan Park down the street from me. I mean, and I see him every night. So the opportunity is there. However, if he chooses to do something else or goes into another field, what is he? What's he getting from Coach Smart? What's he getting from that program, being a part of that section of Marquette University that will prepare him not just for basketball in the NBA, but for life?
Yeah, one of the things that we love about Coach Smart is that he meets with all of the freshmen weekly. So it's pretty much a brand new program. There's 6 freshmen. There's 2 or 3 transfers that they got out of the portal. There were only 2. I'll put it this way: there were only 2 remaining players from last year's team. So new coach, new set of players, everything. One of the things that we like most about what Coach Smart does is he meets with the freshmen weekly to talk to them about the transition from high school to college. He said because he remembers when he was making that transition, it was a tough transition for him. And he didn't really have anyone to talk him through the changes that he would face and how to deal with those. So he meets with them once a week. So he's getting that sort of off the court knowledge from Coach Smart about how to navigate as a young man, as a black young man in a predominantly white college, in a high profile situation that he's in, where there's a lot of visibility and a lot of exposure and a lot of things that can get you off track. So number one, he is keeping him focused as a young man, and how to navigate the pitfalls or the potholes of the world. Secondly, from a basketball perspective, you're talking about one of the greatest basketball minds in college basketball today. So he's getting that day-to-day tutelage from Coach Smart from a basketball perspective, and allowing him to elevate his game. He's playing against high-level players every day in practice, and he's learning the game from them at a high level. So really, what I can say to sum it up is that we couldn't have asked for a better mentor to hand off our son to at this stage of his life than Coach Smart, because he's not only going to be in tune with what he's doing on the basketball court, but more importantly, he's going to be in tune with what he's doing as a young man. And I'll say this, and this again leads to character of Coach Smart. He has done so much in the Milwaukee community, and he's brought the team along. They've done reading programs in schools. They've had a group of students come to the Marquette campus and had the players present, and talk to them about high school and college and things to watch out for. Coach Smart is from the Wisconsin area, and this was a return home for him. One of the things that he wanted to make sure that he did was give back to the community, and he's doing that through the things that he's doing, as well as how he's integrating his team with it. So very excited about how this year plays out in the next 3 years for my son and his career there.
And Coach Tony, can you tell us just a little bit, because we love having you on, of course, and you tell us, about what we see on TV and what's happening in various sports. But as a coach, we think about coaches when we see the X's and O's, when we see the game, but there's a lot more to it, right? Like you are not just a coach on the field, on the court. You are a mentor. Tell us about that. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, just like Rob just said, I mean, just a perfect example. I'm ripping and running tonight. Just from Thursday night, I've been from Nashville to Kentucky to Western Tennessee to Southern Tennessee, back in the city, and just came from a game that tipped off at 6 tonight to make this show tonight. And I still got to go down to Southern Tennessee tomorrow. But having said that, we brought in at our college, at Volunteer State, we brought in 12 players, 12 young ladies today who came into the university, never had a recruiting class that big. And I think Rob pointed out, kind of like what he was saying about Coach Shaka. I still got players, Mike, that call me for their weddings, call me when they have their firstborn. I got parents that will catch me and out shopping, Walmart, or just in the general public, say, "Hey man, thank you so much, Coach, and you gave me that advice." I got players that say, something, I thought the stuff that you were telling me was a joke until I got to the next level, and it was different. Perfect example. Rob and I have been talking all week long about getting Cam on. He says, "Man, Tone, the way that Shaka is running his shop, these kids got basketball, they got homework, they got a tutor, they got workouts, they got so many things they have to check off that checkoff list. Getting on the show is going to be impossible. Plus, they got the Big East tournament this week, Mike. So, and then,
oh yeah, there's that.
Mm-hmm. That's the tournament.
Of course.
To make it to March Madness. So when I look at that, you'll be amazed, man. I mean, just this year alone, the mental aspect of talking to kids that some of these kids have family issues going on throughout the year. Some of these kids have academic situations going on throughout the year. Some of these kids are brought into a situation where, kind of like Rob mentioned, they don't get that in the underground, in the high school level, and now they're thrown into college and they're having to manage all of that at the same time. And to be an athlete. By the way, you got 6 hours of workout. Oh, then you got 5 hours of classes. Then you got homework. Oh, by the way, we got to get on this bus to ride out of town for 2 days and stay in a hotel. And you got to learn how to do homework on the bus with a little bitty light in your seat. And you got an 8 o'clock exam the next day. So, when you see these kids, and as Rob just mentioned, they come out of these universities, this and that commercial you're talking about, Mike, I think that was an Enterprise commercial. An Enterprise, I like how they talk about the life of the college kid and athlete, because I think Enterprise, they employ more college kids coming out because of their program, the way they do them. But Rob, says Southwest, or what he does. But to get these kids set up, they have to have that foundation. And, to have good coaches and a good coaching staff, because everyone does a little bit of everything. You're not just in the court. You're not just on the basketball court all day long. If you think this job is that, I wouldn't be on the road as much as I am.
Right, Right. You are a teacher, and they are students.
Yeah. And I was going to say, Enterprise was actually my first job out of college.
Oh
So
my gosh.
the commercial is true. They hire a lot of athletes because they know that athletes have been in the competitive environment. They've had to think on their feet. There's,
Hmm.
again, transferable skills that you learn playing organized sports that just are applicable in the business world.
Right. And
Absolutely.
that's imperative to know and to be able to have those transferable skills for when they go out into the world, because some may not make it to the pros. And then you've got to, what are you going to do with either starting a business or working? And that's just really great. Great information. We have someone visiting. Really appreciate Coach Thompson telling it like it is, no sugarcoating. And and I'm excited just to I feel like it's kind of like a school reunion. I was a freshman when both Rob and Tony were at North Central, so I got a chance to experience a lot of what happened as a freshman. I was just like, oh gosh, kind of caught up in the whirlwind of things. But thank you so
And I
much,
was in
Rob.
kindergarten.
You
No,
caught
you
you
were
caught us
not a
doing that
kid. You
crazy.
came 2 years
Hey,
later. Why you ain't that young. You ain't
hey,
that young,
What?
bro.
hey,
What?
Come on now.
Pam, and
Watch
you
it.
caught you right. You caught us doing our crazy years as seniors in the house. Boy, we was already made. We were like that movie Made Men.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we started running the yard after our sophomore year. Like, we made it
Exactly.
known to everybody.
Matter of
This
fact,
group here is here to take over the yard.
exactly. Matter of fact, our freshman year, tell him Rob, our freshman year, we came out the city. We was so tight and so cold. We had, I want to say, was it Rob? I want to say 4, maybe 5 upperclassmen quit our freshman year. And we
Wow.
were playing ball our freshman year because we came through the door just that niche, and it was basically 2 schools coming through the door, CVS and Morgan Park just teamed up. And we was just, and it just, we made the campus give us back what we put into it and to see it grow. And the other thing I was going to say, which really epitomizes a lot of things that goes on, is Rob had mentioned about his son getting the opportunity to go to Marquette. And where I'm at the opportunity where I'm at that junior college level, and a lot of kids look over this step, looking at Moraine Valley, right? Looking at other schools that's right there at home. Those are great stepping stones to get to a Marquette per se, because the junior college allows the kid to get that foundation. It allows those kids that maybe they came in, had great test scores, but don't know what they want to do, or maybe they had an opportunity but don't have enough basketball things on the table. So having said that, we just keep pushing everything we can. And man, Rob, love you, brother. 36, and we're gonna do 36 more, man.
Absolutely, man. Love you, bro. I'm always here
Oh,
for you, T.
Rob, Coach Tony, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our little chat on Tuesday. We appreciate you both, and it's kind of
It's
like I
a
said, a North Central College reunion,
reunion.
and
It's
now
a
I'm finding CBS
reunion.
reunion as well.
Right. Hey, just to
All
the reunion.
Yes, right. You got it. It's a reunion.
right, guys, we'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot, Coach. Thanks,
All
Rob.
Hey,
right.
appreciate
All
it. Be good, guys. Talk to you.
All
All
right.
right.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, you didn't know, huh?
I totally forgot. I
So
was
you just you
told.
just you just happen to accidentally bring more CVS in. It's just it just so happened, right?
Just so happened. I mean, I didn't want to, but I
Mhm.
wanted to wrap to find out if you were planning on seeing. I heard the Batman releases this weekend. Are you gonna check
Yeah.
that out?
Well, here's the thing. I am not Team Edward, so I don't know. I could be Team Zoe though. Yeah. Oh no. Go back. Go back.
Go back to Zoe.
Go back to Zoe. No. No. Yes. Yeah. Just like Destiny's Child. Yeah. There we go.
That's Lenny
Yes.
Kravitz's grown daughter.
That's
That's
right. She's of
somebody's
age.
baby. That's somebody's baby. Now, come
That's
on.
gonna be somebody's woman. Look, she old enough, right?
I can't
You
believe
may
it.
be young, but you're ready.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
ready to. Hey, you know what? And when we think about the Catwoman, we got to remember this. Catwoman is almost becoming a black woman's role. Okay,
Yeah.
have you noticed that?
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah.
Because and I think that's right. I think that's okay. Black cat, nine lives. That's Janet Jackson said that, right? Short days, long lives.
Yeah, so
Woo!
I'm not 100%, I'm not 100% sold, but I've been hearing that there's been a lot of great what do you call it? Buzz around Rob Patterson portraying Batman, and this movie has been finished for a little under a year.
I think
Unfortunately,
that's what this movie needs. I think that movie, Batman, needs a remote so I can hit pause at the 1:30 mark, at the hour 30 mark, and then I can leave, come back, and watch the additional hour and 30 minutes.
it's a 3-hour film. I'm just
A
gonna give you
three
guys a head
hour
up.
tour.
It's a
A
3-hour
3 hour
tour.
tour. Come
And
on, man.
I don't know if I have the attention span. You know, I'm just halfway through Macbeth. I've been watching that in parts. I don't know
Look,
why I
look.
haven't been
At least
watching it.
the Avengers gave us like 20 characters. Okay, if they gave us a 3 hour movie, they could move between like 10 to 20 characters. Because okay, Iron Man's over there. Okay, Black
I
Panther's
know.
over here.
Well,
You know,
the
but I
good
mean,
thing
it's just Batman.
I know, but you know what? Think about it. Every time they have to always set up, you know, the new actors coming into portraying iconic characters. Kevin in the chat says that he is going to see it. And oh, the mom and Jason are supposed to get back together. I don't know. I'm totally clueless. I don't know if Zoe and Rob deserve my time for 3 hours. But all I know is that my favorite Batman is the one directed by Tim Burton in 1989 with Michael Keaton. That's my favorite.
Forever. Michael
Thank you.
Keaton is Batman.
Batman forever.
Because he was so genuine. And
Yes.
you know what? The more I see of Michael Keaton, going back to your SAG Awards, just very briefly, he won a
Mhm.
SAG Award for his portrayal as a doctor who becomes addicted to opiates in Dope Sick.
Mhm. There you
And
go.
Mr. Keaton was in the bathroom when they called his name. He runs out at the award show, gets to
He
the
did.
stage, does a roll, lands, gets up, and starts to speak. And then he tries to make me cry because then he talks about being an uncle to a nephew who died of an opiate addiction and dedicated
Mhm.
his performance to that in memory of there. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. You
I
can't
was
be
thinking the
that
same
good.
thing.
You can't do
Yeah,
that to me. Come on, because I remember you watched that, didn't you, Val?
I did. I
Dope
did.
Sick.
I was
Oh my
emotional. I
goodness,
was
when he
emotional.
became addicted, that country
Mhm.
doctor becomes addicted to opiates and then he can't help it. Oh my, I felt, I mean, the opiate addiction is probably the only time in history in which a drug addiction has been targeted to white people. I
Mhm.
never seen that
Mhm.
before in my life.
I
I
know.
watched that series fascinated. It's like, you mean they targeted poor white people to give them drugs? Like this
Yep,
was their crack? Like,
pretty
whoa.
much. Yeah.
And they hit doctors? Oh my goodness. That was an amazing performance. And he is forever Batman, which I believe he is on the TV, right? On the TV side of the DC world, he still makes cameos as Batman or some
Ever
next
so often. Yeah,
yeah.
he'll pop into
Okay.
a situation, and I believe this is Bruce talking. He says that his favorite Batman is the one with Jack Nicholson as Joker, and that is the first one. Yeah, those
Yeah.
two played very
Now
well off
okay.
of each other.
This is no disrespect to Christian Bale. Christian Bale is that was a
He
good
was
Batman.
excellent. He was
He was
excellent.
good
I loved
Batman.
it. Yes.
And
Mhm.
those are those Christopher Nolan movies, so they're acquired taste. But he
Mhm.
was a great Batman too. But Michael Keaton, I mean, he's a Sean Connery of Batman, right? I mean, there was one 007, and then there's everybody else that followed. There was the one Batman, and then there's everybody else that followed. You can do a great job, but I mean, you're not Michael Keaton.
No, you're not. You're
Sorry.
not. So not going to happen. But got a question for you, Mike. What you going to be talking about on tomorrow? Tomorrow is hashtag
Tomorrow,
Wamble. What?
tomorrow,
Womble's Wednesday.
tomorrow. We're gonna I think what we can do is I'm gonna talk a little bit. Haven't talked about it in a while, but I'm going to talk about finances. I'm going to talk about money a little bit. And also, I'm going to talk about another show, one of those things that if you're not interested in it or you don't know about it, I should say, if you don't know about it, I'm going to like clue you in on something that you should be spending your viewing time on. Okay. And it's something that we haven't mentioned before. So I'll keep it hush hush till tomorrow. Now, more importantly, Val the Voice Johnson, around that time toward the end of my little talk, my talk on Wednesday, something should be dropping. What's dropping tomorrow?
Well, the new podcast will be dropping, and I want to say this before I talk about what will be the new situation. Let me bring it back up. We got Wamble Wednesday will be happening, and then I'll be dropping the audio one. But we want to go ahead and thank everyone. Never miss an episode of Talk on Tuesday. Subscribe
thank
to
you so much.
to the YouTube channel. Our numbers have gone up. We thank you so very much, and thank you so much, Kevin, for saying tomorrow we have Wamble Wednesday. So never miss an episode. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. And we're also streaming on LinkedIn as well as our Interludes Facebook group. But we'll be chit-chatting tomorrow with Anika Garrison. She is known on Clubhouse and some other circles on IG as the Shopify Queen. She just quit her 9-to-5 gig to do her business full time. And she's been training people on how to use Shopify. And I am totally fascinated with her.
She's a snatch queen.
She's a snatch queen. Thank you. So she took some sea moss and had her stomach snatched. In other words, it curbed her appetite. So everybody need to do that. That's what I'm talking about.
And them curves moved into other places. So if you get some video, you should check it out on Instagram and as well as some other places.
So anyway, but
you won't be disappointed.
So our audio podcast gets released on tomorrow, and it'll be on it'll be focusing on Anika Garrison as the Shopify Queen. We're so excited. Go ahead. That is the website for our audio podcast. And as I always like to say at the end of these things, and we'll bring it back up again to this episode of Talk on Tuesday, is brought to you by the one-stop shop to buy books and download resources. Your Gal Shall. Learn more about how Your Gal Shall is building the next generation of wealth one day and $1 at a time by visiting yourgalshall.com. I'm so excited. And Michael, what's your name?
My name is not Val the Voice Johnson, but your name is, and this has been Interludes Talk on Tuesday with Val the Voice Johnson. Thank you all. Hit like, subscribe, do all those things.
And we're out. Peace.